Hello everybody and welcome back. It's Acid the Greek and today we'll continue the class trial. Now, it seems that Diana might be innocent, which sucks.
Tell me what happened.
We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Where do I even start, though?
How about you begin by explaining why you went to the boiler
I
room?
hope she's not innocent, but let's see.
Why I went there? It was because of a note.
A note?
2 days ago, someone slid one into my room. I never got to see who. I just heard a knock. And when I walked over, there was a note under my door.
I don't remember any of this.
Sorry. It was midday-ish.
Midday-ish.
You weren't there at the time.
It's a funny word.
And I didn't show you the note later because, well, I'll just read you what it said.
Diana, as you are aware, it is our obligation to speak with those whose blackmail we have obtained. After receiving your blackmail and reading the information disclosed in it, I believe a meeting between the two of us is warranted. In 2 days' time, please come to the underground boiler room at 8:45 a.m. Make sure to arrive promptly and close the door behind you. To avoid discourse, do not show anyone this letter. Do not approach me about it either, even in private. There is always the chance someone can hear. Wolfgang.
Wolfie wrote this?
It does sound like Wolfgang's handwriting, or I guess writing.
Had Diana's blackmail? But didn't he have Jean's?
Or did he lie?
Hold on a sec. If you take a closer look, the handwriting on that note, doesn't it resemble the handwriting on Wolfgang's note?
You're actually
Oh,
right.
someone played them both.
Even though Wolfgang's note has been water damaged, the words I can make out were in the same messy scroll as
So was
Diana's.
someone trying to frame Diana?
Then someone else was posing as Wolfgang?
The killer, most likely. They must have thought his word was the only one Diana would follow.
Guess it worked, huh?
I didn't want to show this note earlier because I was scared of how people would try to twist it, like saying I faked the note or that I decided to kill because of it.
There's no way Diana is innocent, bro. Come on.
Stay quiet.
Come on. The chameleon in the poster.
I know you guys think I'm stupid for agreeing to meet
It has
in a
to be
place
her.
like the
It has to
boiler
be.
room. And I am. I am stupid. I just didn't want to disappoint Wolfgang. In case he really did write
Oh,
the
because he has
note,
toes, like goat thing in the middle.
which was why I left my room around 8:40 a.m. and went downstairs.
Did you catch any strange movement down there?
No, it was just me. I did find the boiler room door hanging open a little bit, but I didn't think much of it. I just went inside and closed the door behind me, since that's what the note asked me to do.
What did you see inside the boiler room?
The boiler room was really dark, so the first thing I noticed was actually the security camera light. My eyes had to take a few seconds to adjust to everything else. But after that, I finally saw him.
Oh, he looked kind of rough.
Wolfgang was lying in the water, making these weird noises. It didn't seem like he'd even noticed
Yeah,
me
probably from
entering the room.
he woke up from the hit.
Wolfgang? Hearing his name seemed to snap him out of his trance, because he slowly rose to
What
his
caused
feet.
the pin though on his neck?
Wolfgang, are you okay?
That look okay.
It's you.
Huh?
I can't believe it. I really am finally meeting you.
Huh?
What do you mean?
Oh, he looks rough.
Please forgive me. Please forgive me for what I've become.
Wolfgang?
Does he think he's his mother?
Despite how hard I tried.
Does he think this is
How much I wanted
his
it
mother?
to be true. I could never become you. I will always be a
No.
failure.
This hurts.
It's okay.
I think he is
Wolfgang.
hallucinating there.
Look, there's stairs.
I love how you can hear the echo because it's in the boiler
Come
room.
over here and we can get out. I have no idea if he didn't hear me, or if he was just ignoring me. But okay, I'll get closer to you.
Still don't know what caused the pin.
I went
the
over to the
small
ledge of the
hole.
platform, the part where the fence had a gap. Just take my hand, okay? And I'll pull you out. He slowly stumbled over, and he held my hand. I didn't really think I could pull him out. I just wanted to be there for him. It was the best I could do, because I didn't want to enter the water. Staying on the platform felt so much safer. And I really, really hate that it did.
He looks rough. He looks pretty
It's
fucked
okay,
up.
Wolfgang.
It's not okay though.
We'll
It's okay.
get
You'll
through this
die
together.
here.
All right? I was looking at him when I said that. I was looking right at him. But somehow...
Huh?
Somehow I didn't think to react.
Whoa.
When he reached inside his blazer.
Yeah, he's not okay. Maybe what they injected him with on the neck caused him to hallucinate.
Rain.
And maybe he's thinking that this is her father or something, or his father. Those sprites are fire.
I tried to leave the room, but the door was locked. I didn't know what to do. I started looking around for things to defend myself with, and that's when I saw the gun.
The taser gun?
Hey, so did she actually kill him by accident?
Did you use it?
I took the taser, and I aimed it at Wolfgang, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't shoot him. I just backed away.
There's no
from
way.
him.
Was I wrong so badly, bro? She wasn't evil? She was just nice this whole time? No, that can't be right.
I couldn't understand anything. Why was this happening to me? Why was I being attacked?
Oh
Why
man.
can't I do anything to...
I'm not like you. I'll never be
I think
like
he was
you.
hallucinating something. His eyes are kind of red.
I won't give up until the world knows. I won't give up until everyone knows me as...
Yep.
All of a sudden, everything turned white. Everything in front of me. Except
Ooh, that art's pretty
Wolfgang.
cool.
In those few seconds, he became pitch black. And then, so did everything else. Even though I didn't see Wolfgang fall over, I heard it. His body cracking against the pavement.
Man. So you're saying that she's innocent?
And his knife falling into the water.
No. I failed
I
on
waited
both.
for the gasp of pain.
Oh,
For
man.
him to groan or mumble or say something. But there was nothing.
I was so hyped. I was like, yeah, I got it right. It's her.
There was just
Nope.
me
Nope.
and the silence.
She was just there.
That's how it happened.
Oh, man. No. This is horrible, bro.
What? What the? What the fuck?
My assumption here is that someone or the killer injected Wolfgang with something that caused him to hallucinate and attack
That man.
Diana.
You?
Oh my goodness, Diana, I'm at a loss for words.
This is getting too much for me, bros. I think I'm gonna faint.
Holy shit. So Diana really did watch Wolfgang die.
Oh, so she didn't do it?
Why was he so violent towards her?
Wait, so how did the...
It's like he became an entirely different person.
The word you're looking for is crazy.
Despite how hard I tried, and how much I wanted it to be true, I could never become you. How would Wolfgang say those words in that particular moment?
How'd you manage to escape the boiler room after all that?
By picking the door's lock.
Ain't no way I was so wrong. Ain't no way.
For reals?
I wasn't even thinking. I just started feeling my way back to the door in the dark. And that, well, my supply bag. I remembered the spare hairpins I always kept inside.
Man,
So I felt around
was I really
the back
that
and
wrong?
dug one out. To be honest, I have no idea how I managed to
my water's
unlock
running
the
out.
door. The whole thing was repeated trial and error.
That's why she took so
Just
long
minutes of me telling
to open
myself
it.
that somehow this next attempt will finally work.
The chair's cracking a lot.
Whoa! Actually unlocking the doors. That's like hitting a bullseye blindfolded.
Now we know why it took so long for her to escape.
I
Yeah.
realized why it happened. Getting trapped inside, I mean. The door's lock was on the outside. So, someone must have set the lock before I came downstairs. So that when I closed the door,
That's why I assume that was the case, because like, oh yeah, close the door behind you. It's
The
pretty
lock is
suspicious
normally on
thing
the
to do.
inside too. The killer purposely flipped it, then left the door open so you would be the one to close it. As for why the killer locked the door to begin with.
It was to frame Diana, right?
Right. The killer made Diana trap herself inside the boiler room, so they could kill Wolfgang in front of her, and force her to remain by his body.
So she's innocent.
Had their plan worked, Diana would only be able to escape if someone from outside entered the boiler room. By which point, that someone would be stumbling across what looks like a cut-and-dry murder case.
If the tournament folk found Diana, they would have been playing right into
Man,
the
I was
killer's
so
hands.
wrong, huh?
Speaking
They
of
really
which,
gave me the false hope that I was on the right track.
Diana, I'm curious to know. Did you unlock the door before or after the tournament attendees arrived downstairs?
it's sort of
Yeah, because we
happened
heard
at
her
the same
leave
time.
just as we got inside.
Like, when I opened the door, there were already people walking down the stairs. Obviously, I couldn't stay inside the boiler room. If anyone saw me close
Man,
to
I was
Wolfgang's
so wrong,
body,
huh?
it would look really bad.
Wow. Okay.
The hallway was a bit easier to make out.
So
in the
who did
dark.
it?
So I walked over to a wall bordering one
I guess
of
we
the
still have a
storage
lot to
closets
uncover, huh?
and hid behind it. And stayed as quiet as possible. I was still bleeding a
The art
little
is really
from
good.
Wolfgang's cut, though.
That's why she was
Some
bleeding.
of that blood ended up dripping onto the floor around me.
Hence the blood on the underground floor. It's all coming together.
Yep.
This was shortly before us tournament goers split up. And you made a run for it, yeah?
So you could still be one of the tournament people if they set it
Down
up
the
ahead of
hallway,
time.
up the stairs, and then as quietly as possible into my room. Since everything
seem to
was
be
still
timed.
really dark, I had to patch myself using the Tozu trinket's projection as my light. I realize this is a lot, and I know it's hard to believe without proof. So, if you guys could just give me a second.
What you gonna do? Yeah, there's a scratch.
I cleared up the blood pretty fast. Luckily for me, the cut wasn't that deep. There's still a chance it may leave a scar, though.
Well, you can just cover it up.
Holy crap!
Uh-huh.
That's awful.
That sure is fucking crazy. Okay.
It's okay. I'll cover it back up again.
Why did Wolfgang attack you for no reason?
Yeah, there
I
was a
wouldn't
reason
say
for it.
was for no reason.
You're being kind of insensitive, man.
Huh? I didn't mean it like that.
Oh, what?
What I'm trying to say is, Wolfgang's actions may look random from an outsider's perspective, but from his perspective,
Yeah, this was like a killer.
well, judging by his behavior, it seems like he saw something which shook him to his core.
Like, there was something in the room that Diana didn't see?
Yeah?
That's impossible. It was only me and Wolfgang
Oh
in the
man,
boiler
when I
room.
said I saw a spoiler thing, and I was like, I'm not sure what I saw. Now it's starting to be more, you know, starts to make more sense.
I don't believe John meant it in a literal sense.
Man, I shouldn't. That sucks. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see.
Wolfgang
literally saw something.
literally saw something?
He thought he saw something, is my point.
His eyes were kind of red, so
He had
yeah.
been hallucinating? What did Wolfgang hallucinate for him to turn out the way Diana described?
Probably his parents.
You'd be surprised by the sort of things our minds can invent. I'm lucky to have never experienced anything myself, but I know some who have hallucinated nasty things. Demons and monsters. Or the feeling of being tortured.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Pretty rough.
If Wolfgang went through something similar,
I think that's what happened with
I
the
can
neck
see why
thing.
he lashed out.
Someone just injected like some kind of like substance that caused him to hallucinate.
Now what the heck is going on at sea?
Of course, these hallucinations don't just happen out of the blue.
Yeah.
More often than not,
Uh-huh.
they're substance-induced.
Substance-induced?
Just say Wolfgang took a hallucinogenic.
Hallucinogenics?
One which induced a lot of fatigue, too, judging by the way he lumbered about in Diana's account.
It would explain why Wolfgang mostly stayed in one place.
One place, which happened to be in the water.
Seems very deliberate. Aye.
Ah, indeed.
I reckon the killer knocked Wolfgang unconscious in order to drag him into the water, but knew he would eventually wake up again. So they drugged him with something which would basically make him despondent. As for
The
where
pharmacy,
the drug
probably.
came from,
Oh no! Don't tell me the killer robbed.
I knew exploring it was a bad idea.
It? What's this it we're talking about?
Cass is just not paying attention.
The pharmacy,
Yep.
obviously. Why the heck did we think leaving that place open was a good idea? Now someone's stolen an item and drugged Wolfgang. Fuck! I knew
Yeah.
our promise was too good to be true. I can't trust any of you guys.
Are we looking at time? Oh, we're pretty okay.
And don't say Wolfgang drugged himself. Who wants to be tortured by demons?
Yeah, clearly he didn't do it himself.
Well, stranger people do exist.
That's rich coming from you.
Okay. Just as predicted, exploring the pharmacy ended up paving the way for murder. Should I have made more of an attempt to stop people from exploring? Back then, all I did was... With caution and determination expressions, the students entered the newly opened pharmacy. Giving everyone unrestricted access to medication sounded like a disaster in the making, but having already evoked the group's ire after speaking my mind before, I was about to make the same mistake twice. I'll just stay quiet, let them do their thing, and let Wolfgang die, I guess. And again, nobody would have listened to me, especially now with Wolfgang in control.
If we know where the perpetrator got their chemicals, I guess our next step is figuring out how they did the drug.
With a needle.
Agreed.
Needle.
It would help us better understand the timeline of events, and potentially even validate.
Man, I'm
Diana's
sad. I got
testimony.
everything wrong.
Sounds
Everything
like you guys
wrong,
can leave
bro.
this one to me. I'm the kind of person who knows someone back to front the moment I meet them. If you haven't already realized, I've gone and read this killer like an open book.
I don't think you have.
You're the last
Yeah.
person I trust to reach a correct conclusion.
Just you wait! The second you hear what I gotta say, you'll be eating those words.
Pinning down on how Wolfgang was tracked may validate Diana's testimony. The question is, how did the killer drug him? Did we see any needle? No, I don't think so. Thin piece of metal with a neck. Odd smell. Tells you stab the smell.
I bet the killer took a pill and forced Wolfgang to swallow.
Yeah, it's not that.
Just jab him at that point.
How would the killer make him swallow a pill? There was no proof they restrained him.
I think it's a Wolfgang.
Killer knocked Wolfie out.
Yeah.
Maybe that was their way of restraining him.
No.
You can't force an unconscious person to swallow a pill.
Yeah.
What if it was a drug? You don't need to eat.
Yep.
Like An inhalable substance?
No.
Well, yeah, like a powder or something.
No.
The pharmacy does have a large collection of over-the-counter sedatives, but there's too many for us to isolate any specific one.
Maybe let's just
I bet the killer took a pill.
Okay, wait, only one has some merits?
Now hold on. A pill ain't gonna be fully digested.
Wait,
I bet the
so
killer
only one is
took a
correct, is
pill.
what you're saying.
And forced Wolfgang to swallow it.
Then maybe what's the point with a prick there in the back of the neck?
How would the killer
If it is the inhalable
make him
substance.
swallow a pill? There was no proof they restrained him.
Didn't the killer knock Wolfie out? Maybe that was their way of restraining him.
Let's see.
You
It has to be at
can't
least
force
as
an
common then.
unconscious
If
person
only one of them has
to swallow
merit.
a pill.
What if it was a drug? You don't need to eat.
Yeah.
Like an inhalable...
There we go. No.
If Wolfgang inhaled.
Alright, I'm not sure
I
what
bet
I'm
the
doing
killer
then.
took a pill.
I think it's the Wolfgang's neck
Wolfgang
thing.
to swallow it.
Oh, we have to agree with him. Yeah, I forgot about that. I thought he was talking about Jet because he was stupid. Okay.
When Wolfgang's wounds were discussed earlier,
Yep.
it was mentioned he had a tiny red dot below the bruise on his neck. During the investigation, I thought this dot was a scab from a mole or pimple. But knowing Wolfgang was drugged, it's clear to see what it really is.
Yep.
A puncture wound.
Exactly.
Considering the timeline of events, an injection would check out. If Wolfgang got drugged a little after 8:15 a.m. and was already feeling the effects when Diana arrived at 8:45 a.m., then we're dealing with something which entered his bloodstream in under 30 minutes. Any normal pill would have taken, probably an hour to dissolve.
Whilst an injection would be much quicker.
Yep.
I see.
I'm not saying much because I'm like trying to think who could have killed.
It would have been
Out of these
incredibly
guys.
difficult to inject him if he was still moving around. Only when they had him right where they wanted. Dazed and unable to fight back, did they plunge the syringe into his neck.
With said syringe being filled with a hallucinogenic.
What happened to the syringe though?
But if this all happened a few minutes after 8:15 a.m., doesn't that make it impossible to pin a
So it could be
suspect?
one of the tournament people.
What? Why is it impossible?
Because everybody's got an alibi for that time.
Oh.
I mean, Damon and I were in my dorm room, and the other party people...
8:15 a.m. Yeah, I was already in the dining hall with Jet, Mark, and Evo.
I left Wolfgang's dorm right after the morning announcement and spent the rest of the hour with John.
When Nona and I were in our dorm room together.
And me and Eloise were already sitting down in the courtyard.
Toshiko was giving me...
Okay, so she does call her Toshiko for some reason.
And, I stayed in my dorm room until 8:40.
Wait, so who did it then? What?
Oh no. If everyone can be accounted for, we really can't assign a suspect.
So, we're back to square one?
Someone here must be lying.
And doesn't plan to stop.
What's screwing us over here? Is it a part of this mystery we're getting wrong? Or could it be we're overlooking something? It was ruled out as having no relation to the murder because the wires don't touch the water. But the position it fit, the fact it destroyed, the timing of the blackout. One coincidence is easy to wave off, but when it's coincidence after coincidence after coincidence, then there's something more going on. There's something more to the generator.
If everyone has an alibi for 8:15
Okay, so the generator is still the sharpener too.
Possible the killer never actually attacked Wolfie at that time. But his little note said to come by at 8:15 a.m., didn't it?
Ingrid, do you remember what you said when we couldn't figure out who stole Desmond's taser?
Not really.
To be honest, I'm drawn.
I don't remember either.
You suggested we switch subjects and discuss Wolfgang's injuries instead, which we did.
No. Is it Ingrid? At 8:15. Wait, no, she will still be with Toshiko.
As a result, we ended up unraveling more about the case than if we had stuck to the original.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, what if while Toshiko was in the pharmacy, Ingrid was down there, but then she would still be back. So she wouldn't have the time to hit him with the plaster or the pin.
Right now, we're at a dead end. If we
Never
can't
mind.
get any more leads out of this
For a moment I thought that was the case, but no.
then that's a sign to switch our focus.
Switch our focus to what?
I want to take another look at Diana's testimony.
Mine?
Back when you were describing...
Yeah, there was like a sound.
Something stuck out to me.
Beep, beep, beep. Right? I won't give up until everyone knows me as... Yep. All of a sudden everything turned white. Everything in front of me, except Wolfgang. Those few seconds he became pitch black. And then so did everything else.
The flash of white Diana described must have been the generator exploding, with the darkness afterwards being the blackout.
Yep.
Think about the order of events there. In just a few seconds, the boiler room's generator explodes, and Wolfgang falls over dead. Doesn't it sound like the two are correlated?
We also didn't establish about the taser gun, because like she didn't fire, but it was already fired. So what happened?
Oi, didn't we go over this already?
We did. The generator has nothing to do with Wolfgang's death. Its wires weren't touching the water.
Indeed. Which is why the murder weapon is the taser gun.
Diana said
Yeah.
she never used the taser, though.
She's lying!
What?
Oh.
That's not true! I never fired the gun!
It's all good. I believe.
Did you say it was fired?
Sure, nobody can dispute the gun was fired. What can be disputed, though, is when it got fired. I wouldn't be surprised if the killer fired that gun way in advance. Like, sometime before Wolfgang arrived downstairs and left it in the boiler room for us to find later.
So it was just planted
So
evidence.
the taser gun isn't the murder weapon?
If Wolfgang wasn't killed with the taser gun or the generator, what other options are we left with?
The generator.
The taser gun is the only
And whatever
option which
exploded.
makes sense. The murder weapon can't be
Still don't have the
anything else.
cord either. The true murder weapon. Is it possible there's a third source of electricity we haven't considered yet? Am I grasping at straws by thinking something like that?
And anyway, the only proof Diana never shot the taser is her own word.
Huh?
Ava! What do you mean?
Ava, not Eva?
All the evidence supporting your version of events is circumstantial. The note you showed us? That could be a fake alibi you
That is
made
true.
for yourself. The fact that it has the same handwriting as Wolfgang's is already suspicious.
Couldn't that just mean the same person tricked them?
If you earnestly believe Diana didn't write it, then maybe. But do you see what I'm saying? There's no proof Diana
True.
never wrote the notes. There's only her word to go by. Because if she did write them, everything about her entering the boiler room at 8:45 a.m. and being locked inside could be a total lie.
I get what you're saying. But if we run with the idea that Diana was the one waiting for Wolfgang all the way back at 8:15 a.m., then we're stuck with the issue we had last time. Why did Diana wait over an hour to kill him?
That's also circumstantial. None of us know what really went on between those two in an hour. Ruling someone out because they took a long time to murder is stupid.
Without
That's true.
Sure, I'd say the same. But since the boiler room is unlocked, anyone can enter. If Diana knocked Wolfgang out, then she took over an hour to kill him with that info in mind.
Okay, but who would enter? No one
Yeah.
wants to make a detour down
Like there's no real reason to go down there.
looking basement.
And
The boiler room is
the
probably
note
the most
said
covert place
for
a
Wolfgang
person
to
can
close the door too, so it's possible that Wolfgang closed the door and got locked. And then she waited afterwards and went in and hit him. The most covert place. Her words still make sense. After all, I chose to meet Tozer in the ballroom for that very same reason.
Diana claims she didn't write the notes, and she claims she didn't shoot the gun, but where's the hard proof she didn't do any of these things?
The answer lies in what destroyed the generator.
What?
Didn't we already talk about
She's
that?
really stuck at that one.
All you guys did was discuss theories. Never anything concrete. Settling for a theory isn't good enough when our lives are on the line. In the same way Ava can't rule out Diana's involvement in the case. We
Yeah.
can't rule out the generators.
Especially because there's something that exploded there.
So
There's the core as well.
we have to figure out what destroyed the generator? What should we do? Just throw out ideas?
It's what we've been doing this whole time.
Yep.
Oakley doke. Alright everyone, let's put our thinking hats on.
Let's unravel this mystery.
We'll unravel this mystery for sure. Ready? On your mark.
Get set.
Set, go!
I like that. Alright, let's see. It's the sharpnel, yeah. Or the shrapnel. Oh, the odd smell too.
Why did the generator blow up?
Could have just been an electrical fault.
So, a coincidence?
Is this the best situation? To be waving stuff off as a coincidence?
Did the killer throw something at the generator that made it explode?
Not think so.
Perhaps it's the fault of the taser gun?
Maybe.
The electrical discharge it released might have connected with the generator and created an overabundance of energy, which caused everything in the circuit to pop.
That could be the case.
Probably. There's no proof anything besides.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Eva, come on, you saw this. You saw it too.
Unfortunately, Ava, I have to disagree.
Yep.
You say nothing, but the taser could have been involved in the murder. But there's one possibility you didn't consider. The shrapnel in the water.
You mean those bits of red metal which were floating around?
Right. The ones that look like the aftermath of an explosion.
Yep.
Due to their proximity to the generator, it's safe to assume the two are connected.
Can't that just be debris left by the generator?
Didn't have anything red on it.
Except this debris is a completely different color and lacks the rust the generator has accumulated. We're obviously looking at the remnants of something else, which means an object
It was
identified was caught in
car
the
bomb.
explosion.
Imagine, Jet. And floating near it was another out-of-place item, the cord. Did I skip it? I skipped it. It was on E probably, right? Extension cord? Yeah. I skipped it. I was looking for severed cord or something.
And the water was also an extension cord,
Yep.
half of which had been burnt away.
Huh? Did the cord get caught?
Oh, it caused the explosion.
Seems that cord has the misfortune of floating around the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh my god.
From what
Wrong
I
place,
saw in
wrong
my
time.
investigation, the building's extension cord supply seems to be kept inside storage closet D. So in a way, yeah.
I think that was when Sean and Mark investigated, right?
Storage closet D, huh? It was hard to make out much of it in
Yeah.
the dark. And after the power came on, Kai came screaming for us to leave our closets. But I do recall seeing some extension cords peeking out from behind the shelf.
Since we already know the killer raided one storage closet, anyone else willing to bet they raided this
Uh-huh.
one too?
The hell did they need an extension cord for?
Probably something involving the generator, given its proximity to the cord.
Same thing with the red bits. Even though we don't know what they are.
Right, the red shrapnel. It definitely isn't debris left with the generator, so what exactly is it? So far, nothing in the boiler room can be directly tied to the shrapnel. At least not any of the clues that have already been discussed in this trial. If I were to flip my thinking, consider the clues we haven't discussed yet. There's no proof what I have in mind is related to the shrapnel, but when all other options are ruled out, I can only turn towards the one that hasn't. The one thing the mysterious shrapnel might be related to. What we haven't discussed yet? The odd smell? Yeah.
This is it.
Hold that thought. We may be able to identify the shrapnel using context clues. During the investigation, there was a strange smell permeating the boiler room. It took me a moment to notice, but when I did, well, the best way to describe the scent would be if you mix cereal and alcohol together.
Cereal and alcohol? Talk about specific.
The sign.
Tis a
Chemical
sign a
reaction
chemical
was at
reaction
play.
was at play.
I love his voice. It's really good. I still think that Eva could have done that
You recognize the smell?
if,
Chemical reactions
because she has the, the cosmetologist. She would know about the
usually something to the tune of
mixtures and
alcohol
chemistry,
mixed with cereal,
right?
or fruits, or eggs. I noticed the smell going into the investigation, but it completely slipped my mind until now.
Could it be a chemical reaction was caused
I
by
don't
the
think
taser?
so.
The gun never touched the water, There's no reason for
Yeah.
it to be the source of the smell.
What about the generator?
Considering the state of it, that generator would smell more
True.
burnt than anything else.
If the chemical reaction can't be explained by what we already know, like the generator or the taser gun, we need to consider the possibility that the explanation is the one piece of evidence still evading us. The
So what? So it had to be a bomb, right?
Can someone
Because
translate
it's
this
exploded.
into less complicated talk?
It was just a long-winded way of saying he's using process of elimination.
I know it sounds like a stretch, but if you follow this line of reasoning,
Alright,
a
let's
lot
see.
more questions start getting answered. Think about it. If the smell and shrapnel are linked,
I'm still not sure who could be the killer though. I still think I want to believe it's Diana still, but there's a chance that she isn't.
So we're looking for a metal object, which is also packed with chemicals?
Surely something like that would be kept inside the pharmacy.
Looking at my notes... When we originally visited the pharmacy, I recorded everything.
And
I
was there
saw.
nothing in there?
A bright red metal object would have definitely caught my eye, but I don't see one written there.
How we
I got lots
had the
of
same thing.
metallic objects in my dorm room, but nothing chemical. Just big old
Slabs of metal, wow. Big old slabs of metal. Why does that sound so familiar? Hold on, that's right. What you said just now is similar to what she said the night everyone began bunking together. I guess this would explain my room too. It's littered with all sorts of fancy tools and metals. At the time, people were talking about their dorm rooms being themed around the Thailands. Could it be could the shrapnel actually be the remnants of the unique device that guy boasted about having in his room? The only way to know for sure is to put you on the spot. Is it actually Jet? And his car bed? Is it him?
it has to be you!
Ain't no way I got it wrong. Hey, it's Jet.
Jet, I need to ask you something.
What's up?
The car battery.
Can you tell me what's inside your dorm room?
Like, a full-on list?
The car batteries.
Whatever works.
Oh no, the car batteries. Yeah, that's what it is.
I got a pretty gnarly collection of parts and accessories. Blind spot mirrors,
Yeah.
batteries, wheels, spare brakes, you name it. Oh, I even have the legendary mantle from the 1984's Grand Prix winning speedster.
That's what I was hoping to hear.
Cool. So, why'd you want to know? Unless... Wait, I'm not being suspected, am I? No. Don't try to roll me into this, bro. I have nothing to do with the murder.
I know you
Oh.
don't. You have an alibi.
Okay, so he's on him.
The only reason I ask is because that mysterious red shrapnel.
Yeah, so it is a lithium
The
batteries.
remnants of one of your lithium batteries.
What?
I see.
Ah, but when did he say that? Who would have
Battery
heard?
might explain the smell in the air.
And lithium, that's an explosive
Oh
substance.
man, we're getting somewhere clearly, but
If it made
I still don't know who it is.
gosh, it'd be left in half.
Sorry.
Wouldn't someone have heard an explosion?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Really?
During the tournament, right before we
Uh-huh.
lost power.
Oi, that's right. There was a
Mhm.
burn.
Wait! I remember hearing
People
it
just didn't
too.
notice, bro.
I initially assumed the generator made the noise somehow. But if Jet's car batteries contain an explosive substance...
Hey, Jet, were your batteries bright red at all?
Maybe.
Maybe?
You don't know for sure?
I never took the batteries out of their packaging. The packaging isn't red, I can tell you that, but the actual batteries? Yeah.
I mean, why would he look at the batteries?
So it can't be proven beyond a reasonable doubt?
Pretty much.
Well, what's the reaction time of a lithium battery?
It's like, what?
Reaction time?
When a lithium battery hits the water, how long does it take to combust? I think, once we know that, we can decide whether or not the battery is relevant to the case.
A lithium battery would be an almost instantaneous reaction, I'm pretty sure.
So how did that happen then?
Metal I've worked with, but it got beat into my head never to mix it with substances it doesn't like. All that electricity The battery would have let out when it hit the water. It must have went straight into poor Wolfie.
There's warning labels on the battery for a reason.
Okay. If the reaction is instantaneous, then the battery would have entered the water only seconds before the generator exploded.
Is it possible that whoever... Okay. We're gonna end it here. But my theory here now is it possible that whoever sent the battery is someone that just kind of threw it from the vent? And that's why it exploded? Maybe it's too far-fetched, I don't know. But I'm gonna have to stop it here though. There's a lot of meat on this case. Damn, I did not expect that. I guess we'll have to solve it next time. Until then, do take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.